All right, Jack Posobiec, we are back live and super excited to be on with the legendary composer of not just the Flintstones Kids vitamin song, but also the composer of the Halo series, Marty O'Donnell. And we were actually just talking about how the rise of wokeness in gaming was one of the first places where, where all of this came up. But before we get back to that interview, I just want to tell you folks, I've been telling you, pay attention to what's happening with the dollar, debt, and central banks. It's all piling up. And when things get rocky, gold has always been the safe haven. But now gold isn't just defensive, it's an offensive asset. It's already around $4,000 an ounce, and analysts are forecasting it could go over $5,000. That's why I've been working with my partners at Allegiant Gold for the past 3 years. They help you protect your savings and retirement with real physical gold and silver, not paper promises. And right now, Allegiant Gold is making it even better. They'll donate 1% of qualified investments from my audience to Turning Point USA or another great America First organization, in addition to the 1% you already qualify for. So you can protect your wealth and support the movement at the same time. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Don't overthink it. Don't wait until it's too late. See what's going on with gold today. Call 844-577-7676 or visit protectwithposo.com. That's 844-577-7676 or protectwithposo.com. Protect your future and stand with me fighting for America. All right, back on with Marty O'Donnell. And so, Marty, there's people who have said, and you just told us that incredible story about seeing sort of the rise of wokeness in the gaming industry. There's a sense from a lot of people that have said, we've passed peak woke, that Hollywood has gone past peak woke. Do you think that we're there yet, or do you think it's still kind of lurking around? Where do you think we're at?
I think it's going underground. I think, especially with the repudiation of the woke movement by the country voting for Donald Trump, and changing the political climate. It's wonderful to see these DEI programs go away, but I don't think they're completely gone. And I think we have to be pretty vigilant because they're just, some of these HR departments are just kind of being renamed. They rename it to something else. So I think we have to keep stomping on this thing. Meritocracy needs to be the rule of the day, and so we have to stay on top of it and watch for when it pops its head up again.
Yeah, and that's always what it used to be, right? It always used to be just the best man, the best woman gets the job, whatever it is. Don't care what the background is. If we're all here to put together something, then we're just going to take the best to the best, and there isn't going to be any question about that. And somewhere along the line, these wokies got in and started saying, "Oh no, you got to change your percentages, and you can't have female characters that look like that, et cetera, et cetera." And then inevitably, it just ruins the product.
Yeah, and like I said, when I was making games, our slogan was, "We make games that we want to play." And then after I was gone from Bungie, Bungie changed its slogan to "We create worlds that bring people together," which is just has such a wokey sound to it. And I think people notice it. All the companies that are making games because they have some sort of an agenda, the fans go, "Wait a minute, what happened to the fun? What happened to the coolness? Why am I being told to, put my personal pronouns in my character?" Or, I mean, one of the worst things is when you go to a character creation screen and it says body type 1, body type 2. There's no male and female anymore. And every one of those little things is just a reminder of the agenda that these corporations have.
No, it's so annoying.
Into.
By the way, I love the bring worlds together, because the entire plot of Halo is worlds that are at war with each other. It's exactly the plot of the series. It's a war game.
And the other thing, one of my favorite little slogans that Bungie had way back in the day was, "Kill your enemies, kill your friends' enemies, kill your friends."
Well, and that's what it was. I remember, I remember playing those games, and in the early days, kind of, and I'm, maybe dating myself a little bit, but even back to the first Xbox, that, it wasn't the online play that was the, that was really at the forefront. It was getting your friends, 3-4 friends together in one evening and having a party and lighting each other up. Yeah, you're all on the couch,
exactly.
right? And that's what you're doing. So yes, absolutely. I was, killing my friends in Halo.
And having a blast doing it, and knowing that
Exactly.
there was nothing serious about it. It was just a slightly more adult version of playing, World War II when you were a kid, or playing Cowboys and Indians or whatever. It was your friends running
we're
around.
getting canceled now. You
I
can't
gotta
say that anymore. Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, I know. Well, that
You know
shows
what's
my
funny
age.
is
But
it's funny you mentioned that. Total aside, but my kids who are 7 and 4, they were. They told me a while ago now, but I said, "What are you guys playing?" They said, "We're playing Cowboys and Indians," and I said, "How do you guys know Cowboys and Indians?" And it's just like, that's what we play. We play Cowboys and I had never said it to them. I had never once said it, but it's this. There's a reason that these archetypes, there's a reason that these stories resonate throughout our society, throughout childhood, especially with young men, young women too, to some extent, but especially with young men, because even with a war game like this, military science fiction, because that's what young men have an innate and natural interest in.
yeah, and I have 3 grandsons now. I raised 2 daughters, and by the way, both my daughters were somewhat interested in the games that I made and played, but they never got quite as addicted to it. But my 3 grandsons are, I can see it already. They are. They're just different than daughters, right? And so they're very interested in playing the kind of games that I made and like. And that's fine, that's just the way things are.
And that's
there's
nature.
an interesting, there's an interesting phenomenon about, things that kids do. Well, kids pass on what they're doing, their nursery rhymes, their games, to other kids, and the parents are not involved. So that just keeps coming down generation after generation, because the group of kids pass it to the next little group of kids, and you can't stomp this stuff out. That's why they're still playing Cowboys and Indians.
So you're running for Congress. You've switched that over. Tell me a little bit about the race. It's Nevada 3, Susie Lee, the Democrats in there. It's a district that Trump won. She only won by about 10,000 votes. You're running 2026. Walk us through it real quick. 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. I am very interested in flipping this seat, and so are the Republicans in Washington. Obviously, Susie Lee is just a mouthpiece, a rubber stamp for the Democrat Party. I'm a lifelong conservative. I'm a huge fan of President Trump, and voted for him 3 times, and I'm looking forward to being support in the midterms so that we hold the House and keep the Trump administration going for the full 4 years. I'm also super interested in working, to make sure that our country can have it so that one good job is enough to raise a family. And we need to get back to the idea that you need one good job, and you can raise a family. You can have a pizza on Friday nights and maybe take a vacation and raise your kids the way you want them to be raised and get them in schools that you want. And we need to get back to that sort of economic situation as soon as possible. And I think President Trump and his administration is the way to do it.
Well, that's incredible. Well, Marty, you've got my support, because we know that we absolutely need fighters in there, someone who's seen wokeness from inside the belly of the beast, someone who understands what it's like to go up against that industry and, by the way, be able to speak truth to power, and someone who just gets it, someone who just absolutely gets it. Where can people go to get more information to get involved in the race?
Go to martyforcongress.com. You can also go to martyforcongress.vote. Either one will take you to the exact same place. And, register. You can contribute, of course, we need it because it's a national race and there's a lot of Democrat money is going to come in against me. But just registering so I can keep in touch with you is a wonderful thing. So martyforcongress.com.
All right. And what can I say? What can I say? Incredible interview. Thank you so much. Honored to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have my permission to lay ashore.